Stop what you're doing. Right now, I want you to pay attention to something. There's a weight on your chest. You might not have noticed it until I just said it, but it's there. It's that subtle pressure, that low-grade anxiety humming in the background of your life. That voice that whispers every single morning when you wake up. You know the one. The voice that says, maybe tomorrow, not today. You're not ready yet. And here's what's terrifying. You've been listening to that voice for so long, you think it's you. But it's not you. It's fear. And while you've been negotiating with it, bargaining with it, trying to make it comfortable, it's been killing you. Slowly, quietly, one postponed dream at a time. And today, we're gonna rip that voice out by the roots. Let me describe something you're gonna recognize immediately. You're lying in bed, it's Sunday night, and there's that feeling in your stomach, that dread, that heaviness. It's not about Monday, it's deeper than that. It's the feeling that you're living someone else's life, that somewhere along the way you took a wrong turn, and now you're trapped in a routine that's slowly suffocating you. You open your phone, scroll, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anything to not feel it. But the feeling doesn't go away. It just gets buried under dopamine hits and distraction. And then there's that other moment, the one that happens when you're alone in your car, or in the shower, or lying awake at 3 a.m. That moment when you think about the thing you actually want to do, the business, the move, the conversation, the change. And immediately, your body responds. Heart rate spikes, palm sweat, throat tightens, and that voice gets loud. Who do you think you are? You don't have what it takes. You're gonna fail. Everyone's gonna see you fail. You're gonna lose everything. So you do what you always do. You rationalize it. You say, I need more time. I need more money. I need more experience. I need a sign. But here's the truth you don't want to hear. You're not waiting for the right time. You're waiting for the fear to go away. And it never will. Because that fear is not protecting you, it's imprisoning you. Bob Proctor spent 50 years studying this. Joe Dispenza mapped it in brain scans. Napoleon Hill called it the invisible counselors. But let me make it simple. Your brain has a setting, a thermostat, a comfort zone. And whenever you try to rise above it, whenever you try to become more than what you've always been, your brain sounds an alarm. Red alert, threat detected, abort mission. Because 200,000 years ago, being different meant being dead. The humans who tried new things got eaten by predators. The ones who stayed in the cave survived. So your brain is wired to keep you safe, to keep you small, to keep you alive. But here's the problem. Safe doesn't mean fulfilled. Alive doesn't mean living. And right now, you're not living. You're just existing, going through the motions, numb to your own life. Look, I'm not judging you. I'm observing you. I see it everywhere. People shuffling through their days like zombies, medicated, distracted, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes because they don't change. They wake up, same routine, same thoughts, same fears, same excuses. And they call it being realistic. They call it being responsible. They call it adulting. I call it dying slowly. Because every day you don't take that risk, every day you don't have that conversation, every day you don't start, you're choosing death over life, comfort over growth, safety over significance. And your time is running out. Now let me show you what's actually happening in your brain when you feel that fear. Dr. Joe Dispenza did the scans. When you try to think a thought that doesn't match your identity, your amygdala lights up like a Christmas tree. Your brain releases cortisol, adrenaline, the same chemicals it will release if you were being chased by a lion. Your body literally can't tell the difference between posting that video and being eaten alive. That's how powerful your paradigm is. And here's where it gets really sinister. Your paradigm doesn't just create fear, it justifies it. It makes you think the fear is rational, smart, protective. So when you think about starting that business, your paradigm doesn't say, I'm scared. It says, the market's saturated, the timing's bad, you need more capital. When you think about having that difficult conversation, it doesn't say, I'm scared. It says, they won't understand. It's not worth the drama. Let it go. When you think about pursuing that dream, it doesn't say, I'm scared. It says, be realistic. You have responsibilities. Don't be selfish. The fear disguises itself as wisdom. And you believe it because it sounds like you, feels like you, but it's not you. It's the old you, the safe you, the small you, the version of you that was built to survive, not to thrive. Bob Proctor used to say, we live our entire lives in a very small circle of comfort, and anything outside that circle feels dangerous, even if it's actually the key to everything we want. So here's what happens. You get that opportunity, that chance, that moment, and your paradigm immediately starts building the case against it. You're not qualified. You don't have the experience. What if you fail? What if people judge you? What if you succeed and then can't maintain it? And the more you listen, the more real it becomes. Until the fear isn't just a feeling anymore. It's a fact. I can't do this. It's not possible for me. I'm not that person. And that's the moment you die a little. Because you just reinforced the prison. You just made the wall sticker. You just proved to yourself that fear is stronger than you are. But here's what you don't understand. Fear is only stronger than you because you give it power. Every time you listen to it, you feed it. Every time you obey it, you strengthen it until it becomes your master. And you become its slave. Working a job you hate because it's safe. Staying in relationships that drain you because change is scary. Living in a city you despise because moving is risky. All while telling yourself, this is just how life is. This is being an adult. This is reality. No, this is prison, and you are the warden. You're locking yourself in every single day and throwing away the key. But the beautiful, terrifying, liberating truth is this. You can walk out anytime you want. The door was never locked. You just convinced yourself it was. So let me show you what it looks like when someone breaks through. Because it happens. You've seen it happen. That person who was always anxious, always playing small, always making excuses, and then suddenly, they're different. Not just successful, different. They move differently, talk differently, exist differently. It's like they stepped into a new frequency. And when you ask them what changed, they can't fully explain it. They just say, something clicked. That click, that's the moment they stopped obeying fear. Not eliminate it, not conquer it, stopped obeying it. Because here's the secret the greats know. Fear never goes away. You just stop letting it make your decisions. Muhammad Ali was terrified before every fight. He said it himself. I'm scared to death every time I step in that ring. But he stepped in anyway. Steve Jobs was terrified of failure, terrified of rejection, terrified of not mattering. But he bet everything on his vision anyway. Martin Luther King knew they were going to kill him. He talked about it. He prepared for it. But he marched anyway. Because they understood the fear is the price of admission. You want to live a big life? You got to feel big fear. You want to create something meaningful? You got to walk through the terror of being seen. You want to become who you're meant to be? You got to let who you are die. And that death, that transition, that's what the fear is really about. You're not scared of failing. You're scared of changing. Because if you change, if you actually become that person, you can never go back. You can never use the same excuses. Never hide behind the same limitations. Never play small again. Success is irreversible. And your brain knows it. Your paradigm knows it. So it fights, it resists, it creates every obstacle, every distraction, every reasonable excuse to keep you exactly where you are. But here's what happens when you push through anyway. Everything shifts. Not eventually, not gradually, immediately. Because the moment you act in spite of the fear, you send a signal to your brain. Fear is not my master. I am. And your brain, it has no choice but to adapt. New neural pathways form, new beliefs take root, new identity emerges. And suddenly, things that used to terrify you, they're just normal. That's why successful people keep getting more successful. It's not luck, it's not connections, it's not privilege, it's frequency. They've trained their brain to operate at a different level, where risk feels normal, where growth feels natural, where fear is just background noise. And you can do the same thing. Not someday, not when you're ready, right now. So here's what you're gonna do. And I don't mean consider doing or think about doing. I mean do, today, this hour, this moment. You're going to identify the one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Not the comfortable thing, not the easy thing, the thing that makes your stomach drop when you think about it. That conversation, that decision, that action, that leap. Got it? Now feel it, really feel it. That tightness in your chest, that voice screaming, "Don't do it." Good. That's your old self dying. And you're gonna let it die. Because on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that discomfort, that's where the real you is waiting. The powerful you, the free you, the alive you. But you can't think your way there. You can't plan your way there. You can't wait your way there. You have to act your way there. So here's the challenge. Within the next 24 hours, you're gonna do that thing, that one thing. And when the fear shows up, when your paradigm starts building the case against it, when that voice gets loud, you're going to say this: I see you, I hear you, and I'm doing it anyway. Because that's what warriors do. That's what legends do. That's what humans do when they remember they're more powerful in their programming. And every time you do it, something magical happens. Fear gets smaller. You get bigger. Until one day, you look back and realize you're not scared anymore. Not because there's nothing to fear, but because you learned the truth. The person on the other side of fear is who you were always meant to be. Richer, stronger, freer, more alive. But you can't think your way there. You can't plan your way there. You can't hope your way there. You have to walk through the fire. And yes, it's going to burn. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, you're going to want to quit. But you won't, because you're not weak. You're not broken. You're not small. You're just asleep. And fear is just the alarm clock. So wake up. Take that action. Have that conversation. Make that move. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you're ready. Now. Because the only difference between who you are and who you're meant to be is one scared step.